In my neighborhood, we are always so very, very excited to touch in with a local hometown hero, Steve Crump, who's been part of journalism, boy, forever and a day. Also in the Hall of Fame for Kentucky, and we're proud of him. But we're also proud that he's getting the message out that you need to take care of yourself. He has been battling cancer. We want to find out more about his story as he reminds you to love yourself and take care of everyone. Take a look.
Memorable images are the sobering reminders of my very personal journey, unlike any I've ever experienced.
My condition is workable.
Shocking, life-changing, and fearful accurately describe the flurry of emotions after coming face to face with the reality of colon cancer.
What was going to be some routine treatments turned into hell in a handbasket, to be quite blunt.
Through various platforms, this fight has been a public battle, and life's challenges became newsprint across the Carolinas.
My right lung had partially collapsed. I was on a ventilator. I was on dialysis in a feeding tube all at the same time.
Challenging complications came as a result of contracting MRSA that kept me in the hospital for 51 days. Complications that could have been avoided early on.
Did you get screened? You hadn't gotten screened, and why hadn't you gotten screened?
Well, you know, look, in this rough and tumble business that we're in, we feel that we're invincible.
That false sense of security comes from being unscathed in war-torn places that include Sudan and Sarajevo. But that doesn't negate the common sense required in protecting one's own health.
It's a great time for people to get screened, to at least look at themselves, make sure they're okay, find out what resources are available in the community, and take the initial steps so they don't become sick.
Discovering wellness is an ongoing process. Coming back to work at WBTV was one of the happiest days of my life. Despite some difficulties, the high highs kept coming. Cherished moments of encouragement and growth, like throwing out the first pitch at the Charlotte Knights game and being honored by the Charlotte Post Foundation as 2019's Educator of the Year, along with being part of Kentucky Derby coverage for our sister station in my hometown of Louisville.
And quite candidly, a lot of people didn't expect me to make it.
Working through this disease has not been a solo act. My wife, Kathy, has gone above and beyond, spending nights in the hospital, preparing meals, and dispensing medicine are among the tasks she's carried out as an amazing caregiver. Dr. Muhammad Salem and Candace Bashaw are among the many who delivered life-saving care, advice, and treatment, along with other healthcare professionals with Atrium Health's Levine Cancer Institute, as well as surgeons and staffers at Atlanta's Emory Hospital.
And somehow, through God's grace and mercy, I'm here. I'm here.
He is not only still here, he's positive he never stops unless they make him, or unless he just goes for a second and then he stops. Steve, it is always so good to hear you and to see you. And I had no idea, every now and then you get a little setback and you do what they tell you to do, and you keep right on going. But we are still in this pandemic, and I know you want to make this clear. A lot of people have put kind of their health, unless they have a cough or they have a runny nose, to the back burner. You still have to take care of yourself.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, the perplexing thing throughout this entire journey, and Dawne, you've been a part of this journey going back more than 2 years with me, is the fact that you can't keep your eye away from the ball. You got to stay on the case from the standpoint of making sure you get those screenings, you get those checks. And even in as much as earlier this year, they revised the standards as far as being checked for colon cancer, where they lowered the age to 45. So that pretty much means that a whole group of potential, I guess, folks that could be impacted by this ailment need to be screened as well.
So I know you battled colon cancer. You talk about colon cancer and just cancer as a whole. This is no joke. I don't think anybody ever sits there and goes, oh, I bet I get cancer in 2 years. This is something that you have to keep your eye on. And with all the advancements, people are living longer. People are winning the fight.
I agree with you, and I look at you. I mean, you and I have known each other many, many years, and I followed your situation as well, and you provide amazing inspiration for so many people, including myself. And the reality is you can never give up hope. I mean, the fact of the matter is, there's one of my cousins that back home in Louisville, said to me after getting the news, like, oh, I see that you inherited the family disease. And the fact of the matter is, yeah, this thing has gone on for 3-4 generations on my mom's side of the family. But at the same time, going back 40, 50 years ago, we didn't necessarily have the technology and or the science or the ways of fighting back, which prolong lives for many, many people.
If there are some 1, 2, 3s that you wanted people to know, whether it's colon cancer or any other cancer, what would that be?
I think number one, get checked. That's first and foremost. Make those doctor's appointments, get those screenings, know your numbers. Secondly, and especially for those of us in the African American community, understand that cancers of all kinds, be it breast cancer, be it colon cancer, those kinds of cancers seem to impact African Americans at a far disproportionate rate than any other group, especially here in the U.S. And the reality is, don't be afraid. I think that's my third takeaway. Share your fears, share your hopes, share your ambitions. And in other words, realize you're not walking alone as it deals with putting up with this sort of a scenario.
Yeah, you said talk about it, know about it. I think even in COVID, a lot of us aren't taking care of our mental health, our whole health, our soul and our minds. How are you doing? What do you want to say to everybody here at home? Because I know you love us, but you don't always get to come back as much as you want.
No, actually, I was supposed to have been there, and I would have seen you a couple of weeks ago, but my wife, Kathy, said, no, we're not going to get on a plane and come home right now. But I just want to say, what I've been sharing all along. It's important to get checked. It's important to know your family's history. And I'm just so grateful for the support that people back home in Louisville has shown and shared with me. I mean, you go back to that little video clip that I had done here in Charlotte, and one of the photos, our good friends, Ed and Bernadette Hamilton, they happened to be in Charlotte and came to our home, for dinner the same week that I was released from the hospital. The photo after that is my lifelong friend, and I call her my Smoketown sister, the old childhood babysitter, Monica Kaufman, who's done very well in our industry. And, it's just the amazing amount of support, not only from them, but even my family from Trinity and Eastern Kentucky University. I mean, everybody has been so supportive. And so to me, every day is a blessing. I mean, every day may not necessarily be a perfect day, but Dawne, as you well know, having gone through some similar concerns, every day clearly is a gift from God.
Yeah, every day is certainly a blessing. And just a high five to my sister, Kathy, who may be the only one that can sit you down.
And make me shut up and mind my business.
Hush it down, mind your business, do what you're supposed to do.
That's it.
We love you very, very dearly. And again,
hope to see you guys at 725 South Floyd sooner than later.
All right, we're sending you big kisses. And
back at you, dear.
All right, and I have just got to stress exactly what Steve said. Take care of yourself, regardless of the cancer. My dad right now fighting lung cancer, and so I think everybody but my sisters had cancer in my family, it seems. So take care of yourself.